Guys, it's Cook Along Wednesdays. As usual, we have our two South African resident members of our Malaysian street food kitchen. We've got Liam Garney from the muddledpantry.com, and we've got Paul Gray from Food Fame. And Paul, we can see, we can just, all right. Paul is too tall for the camera. Okay, cool. Guys, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Do hashtag live if you're watching live. If you're watching a replay, do hashtag replay and share this around. All right. So we are streaming this in a couple of places. We're streaming this on YouTube and also on my Facebook, Jackie M Food page, and also in MSFK, Malaysian Street Food Kitchen. All right, settle down, say hello, and guess what? The guys are making crispy noodles. South Africa is a struggle getting like even the most basic stuff, and Paul was out shopping looking for the right type of noodles yesterday. And it's actually a lesson for me because I'm always doing cooking demos, and I'm not assuming, but I kind of like have to. Let's have a look. Rice vermicelli. Okay. So are you using vermicelli today?
Yeah, well, I got that and I got these. I was going to go with two.
Okay, sure. Yeah, give it a go. I mean, yeah. And the other thing is, because South Africa, do the hashtag because South Africa, Liam needs to have this wrapped up by the top of the hour. Hey, guys, good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. And guys, so the boys are making crispy noodles, but I'll let Liam introduce himself briefly, and then Paul, and then Liam can tell us what's happening with the food and all that. All right, while I share this out. Go for it, Liam.
Hi everybody, welcome back if you're returnees. My name's Liam Garney. I'm from the Muddle Pantry, and yeah, today we are making crispy noodles. What can go wrong? Deep fried noodles. It's there is a wet towel on standby if it all goes terribly wrong. But no, we're good. It's going to be awesome, and this is one of my favorite dishes. So that's me.
Cool.
Cool. Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm cool. Thanks for having me. Yeah, and I have two forms of noodles, so I'm cooler than Liam's.
Always, you didn't need the second set to be cooler than me. Don't worry, it's not a competition.
Sorry, let me just turn off the volume. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to do 50 things at the same time. Sorry. But okay. Share this out. And yeah, guys, say hello. Hi, Liz, and hi, Pauline. And Götz is in Germany. Pauline, where are you from? Liz is in the UK. So we've got a global audience already. Tell us where you're watching from, everyone. And yeah, so which recipe are you guys working with?
We're using your recipe, actually, which is great. You're culpable, I'm afraid. It's a really good recipe. It's very straightforward. It sounds really more complicated than it is. I think people are quite intimidated when you start saying crispy noodles and deep frying things. But it's actually very straightforward.
I thought deep frying is the easiest activity ever.
Sorry?
I thought deep frying was one of the easiest activities ever.
You'd be surprised what can go wrong. I've had a few flaming disasters before. Trick is not to panic. Just expect the flames and you'll be fine. So this is actually quite different from the stuff that we've made with Paul before. This is more of a traditional Chinese meal, whereas before we've been doing a lot of Nyonya and Malay dishes and a lot of curries and things. So this is actually quite a quick dish. It's not it's loaded with flavor, but there's no spice to it per se. It's really about the crispy noodles versus the nice silky sauce. That's kind of the kick. To me, this is real comfort food. So yeah, it's going to be great. I hope Paul likes it.
Yeah,
I'm sure I will. I love most Chinese dishes. So what could go wrong?
Right. Okay.
There's Chinese and there's South African Chinese.
There is, yeah. We will use that very loosely.
Yeah, you mean basically sugared water. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So shall we go through the? I don't know about you, but I've got all my ingredients sorted. Just show you what I've got. So I'm using. So basically, I've got some prawns and I've got some calamari. I've also got some shredded chicken. You can use raw chicken, or you can just omit it. I like to have a little bit of chicken in it as well. I think the combination is quite nice. These are the types of noodles I'm using, which is basically scallop noodles or shrimp noodles, I think they can be called. They're the closest we get to wonton mee here. And they're actually a pretty good facsimile. Vegetables, that was a bit of a problem for me. I battled to find any Chinese leafy vegetables in the village this week. Just showing off. Darn it. But
like
to be adaptable, my kingdom for one of those right now. But no, I'm not despairing. I'm actually using tender stem broccoli, long broccoli. It's very similar to kailan. So at a push, this is pretty much, it gives you the same texture and a slight chewiness to it. And so, my other alternative I was going to use was cos lettuce, which I would have added in just at the end, possibly. But I found a little bit of this lurking around in the fridge, so that's what I'm going for instead.
I'm really curious to see how your noodles will turn out, Liam.
Yeah, so am I. So I don't know about you. So I've got my oil started. I'm just going to turn this down. So I'm just bringing up a wok of oil. Again, obviously, safety first. You've got to make sure it's stable. I'm using a flat wok, not a rounded one, just to make sure I've got a little bit more stability in it. So we're going to bring that oil up. It may take a little bit of time to do, so we'll just go on with other stuff. So I've got my prawns and my calamari. Got a little bit of corn flour, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of white pepper. So I'm just going to mix all that together for now.
I have to say, your prawns look a bit more impressive, Liam, than what I usually see Paul buy at the shops.
If you buy the more commercial stuff, they tend to be ready-made, and they're not quite as nice. I tried my best to buy stuff.
Did you go fish them yourself?
On it.
All right.
So did you go fish them yourself?
But prawns are always an issue, I have to say. Getting decent prawns is a pain. It has gotten better, but certainly frozen in South Africa is the only route you can really go. You can buy some fresh from Woolworths, but they're hell of expensive. And once you cook them up, they tend to shrivel into nothing. They're very small. So, okay, so I've just I'm
not going to South Africa. Sorry, guys.
I know. I'm sure we can tempt you with something else. Gotta be. I mean,
crayfish.
I know, Paul, don't take too much offense at that. Unless you can find some decent prawns, he can come in for you.
All right. So, Paul, you're using chicken and what else? Hey, Eileen, how you doing? Watching from Canada. Cool.
Oh, Canada. Hi, Canada.
Chicken and prawns.
Look at those prawns.
Don't laugh at my prawns.
We won't judge him. Don't judge the poor man. Oh, too much.
They're prawns in essence, not in quality.
I think part of the appeal with you guys is the fact that you struggle to get the right ingredients, or sort of thing. It's just interesting to me to see how you guys work around it. So it's kind of interesting.
I would find it fascinating. Like, I don't know if it's an idea one day when one can travel again, is to actually go around the world and meet Malaysians who live in odd places and how they cope with their food and how they actually work it out and make local ingredients work for them. And it would be fascinating because, again, I think Malaysians tend to be very myopic, as we all know, in what is right and what is, and it's a very privileged position to be in when you can just snap your fingers and you can go to Ploticus Market and buy the greatest produce you can. And
just like Pearly, if you can't get this, forget it. Don't bother trying to make it. She is so privileged.
Pearly is not the queen of alternatives and substitutes, that's for sure. She's the classic cannot get, cannot make. Great.
I'd love to see her in South Africa.
Have you got your oil on yet?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great.
It's pretty much
okay, I'm just going to use my thermometer just to roughly see where we're at. I'm not very good with this.
Liam is so pedantic. It drives me nuts.
I have everything.
I never pulled out a thermometer to measure
it's ridiculous. But I'm pedantic. I use this. I give it to the right temperature, but I can never keep it going at the right temperature for some reason.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you want to know? You want to know how you figure out if it's the right temperature? Put something in and wait for it to crackle. Then you know.
Yes, that is very true. My problem is I tend to overheat the oil. That's my big issue. See, like it was meant to be 180. I'm at 225. Yeah, time to turn it down a little bit. let's just turn it down a wee bit. So this is for safety. That's what this is.
Right. Fair enough. That makes sense.
Okay, so let me just talk about the noodles I've got. So this is what my noodles transform to. So from that to this. And all I've done is
I've just soak it in cold or hot water. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I boiled it in some hot water for a couple of minutes. I've then run it under some cold water, and then I've basically I've dried it out by putting it in salad spinner or just letting it dry in a towel or something. Again, you really want to try to get as much moisture out of it as possible. And the other thing I think is quite key too is just before you do it, you really want to tease your noodles a little bit just to let them separate out a bit so you don't end up with a big clump. Which is easier to do with this type of noodles.
Yeah.
Now with rice vermicelli, it's a bit harder. I must confess, I don't really like the rice vermicelli version of this. I think, it almost sort of cuts up without kind of having the crunch to it to me. It tends to dissolve too much in the sauce, whereas I think having egg noodle style is a little bit more, it gives it a bit of contrast between the two. So, okay, so let's see.
With the rice vermicelli, do I need to soak them in water first before I
You can do either. You can do either, Paul. They'll turn out different.
I was gonna say because last night I tucked them in and we did that.
Yeah. So that can work. Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I'm gonna go for then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna put mine in too. Let me just test a piece first and see what we got. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm just gonna turn my camera down a bit.
I am so intrigued that you can actually deep fry this. This is nuts. I never would have thought.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was more than I was hoping to put in.
Okay. So I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. Okay. So again, just teasing it around a bit, just to separate it out. I always think of this as a bit like making a bird's nest. A bird's nest for the soup to go onto. Which is a very Malaysian thing. Let's be honest. We all have uncles and aunties who bird nest soup, bird nest. Yeah, it's. Okay. Yeah. Up a little bit.
There you go, guys. I am so intrigued that you can actually do this with like dry noodles.
I think Liam and I need to bring out our own cookbook. How to do Malaysian.
When you got nothing. In spite of South Africa.
It's gonna be like one of those ads on a blog where it's like make $1 million with zero in the bank. But
and then they'll see we're from South Africa and they'll be like, no, don't trust them.
That's wrong.
What do they know? Okay, so mine's all nice and crispy. That's it. That's literally all it takes. So I'm just going to take that out. I'm just going to drain it on some paper quickly. Okay.
I'm hoping you mean paper towel.
Yes. Sorry, that is what I meant.
Okay, I was going to say, Ross, you're a really exorbitant person using all that paper.
Only handmade papyrus paper will do for me, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'm going to put this to one side. Again, so that's basically what we've ended up with. Very quick, brilliant. Very easy. Okay, seem to have a few laggers in here. Hang on, let me just get those out.
I'm going to pretend like this isn't going to take about 5 minutes. So what happened last night, it took like 5 minutes to get ready.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why it's important to get your oil going early. That's the main thing for me. So I'm going to pop my seafood in quickly, just to give it a quick flash fry.
Cool.
Again, we've coated it in a little bit of tapioca flour or corn flour, just to give it a little bit of a crunch.
We all know that's Mazina. Don't lie to the people.
Mazina, yes, in South Africa it's called Mazina.
It's called what?
Mazina. Here, I'll get a box.
You know what I find fascinating? Like at the restaurants, Mazina or corn flour. Okay, cool. Like every time Paul goes to a restaurant, regardless of what restaurant he goes to, like they sell all kinds of stuff. Like you go to a Chinese restaurant and you can order sushi there. And he goes to a steakhouse and there's like Mexican food and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we do love our we do like our like combination restaurants here. And I mean, there's a very famous one in Cape Town called Saigon, which would make you think it would be a Vietnamese restaurant. Anything but. Everything, and this has been around for years, and it's just, you go there and you think, oh, I'm going to have some pho, I'm going to have some amazing Vietnamese food. Nothing. It's ridiculous. But still Saigon. Anyway.
Oh my God. In South Africa, you can get away with it. In other countries, like people will be like holding placards.
Just because we can get away with it doesn't mean we should.
You should. I was going to say, there's this restaurant chain here. There's probably the biggest restaurant chain in South Africa called Spur. And like, it's bad enough that it's offensive because they use like Native American people for the decorations and stuff. But then on top of that, they serve like burgers and steaks and nachos. And basically you think that they serve a type of thing, you know? And it's a very South African tradition.
It is. Like every South African child has gone there for their birthday at some stage, and they have this weird song that they sing, and they all clap and do weird stuff, and it's mortifying. Absolutely mortifying. Okay, I've poured out my oil, and I've just left myself a little splash in there. Okay. So I'm just going to turn this down a bit so as not to burn stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to add my noodles are coming out. Are they? Oh, hang on, let's wait for Paul to catch up. Where are you at, Paul?
He's doing okay.
Of course,
okay, being a really euphemism, yeah.
Are you going to have this? This is sort of thing because there's not much. I hesitate to say not much flavor to it, but often you have it with like some chili sauce, or you'd have it with some pickled chilies, and pickled chilies would be the best. I have to say that's by far.
I don't know pickled chilies, but I can make something like it. Actually, you know what?
Yeah, break it up, Paul.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I think your oil has.
I think your oil's too. No, it's too cold. Especially with the vermicelli, it should literally, as it hits the oil, just explode up.
Yeah. Usually,
just now.
Once you fish something out, you want to let the oil come back up to temperature before you add the next batch in, because you've agitated it and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. See how it goes.
And obviously, the heat then transfers to what you've cooked as well, which then reduces.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I could have sworn I turned down the volume on this thing. Okay, I've muted it now. Sorry, guys. Everyone, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And like I said, if you're just joining us now, we've got our Cook Along Wednesdays that we usually actually use to only stream to our private Facebook group, Jackie M's Malaysian Street Food Kitchen. And we've got Liam and Paul. They're two South African guys, one near Cape Town and one near Johannesburg. And they have this Malaysian connection.
Sorry, if this is any doubt, I'm the Cape Town one.
I was going to say, we can tell from a distance.
Please don't confuse us.
There's a bit of a Cape Town and Joburg rivalry here.
It's funny how every country has its beef with each other. Penang, it's KL versus,
Here's Sydney against Melbourne. Don't get me started on Melbourne right now. I'm really mad at that. Even more so than usual. Even more so than usual. Totally
yeah, I was
lost.
gonna
I
say-
think COVID may have brought out the worst in you guys.
I was gonna say I heard they're filming The Walking Dead in Victoria.
Oh, same. Oh well, you know what? At least we're not at least we're not somewhere like Singapore, who just everyone hates. Fortunately, it's a shame. Just leave them alone. They can't help themselves.
Quickly, I'm hoping Laura's not watching.
She gets it. She knows. She wears her badge well.
Yeah. So, are you cooking all those noodles, Paul? Or
I was just going to say, how many noodles are you making?
No, I was doing that just for myself for later.
Oh, okay.
Once the camera goes
This
off,
is not the sort of dish though that sits well. Just so you know, it's one of those things that has to be eaten pretty much as it's once it's made. If you leave it too long, the noodles just become soggy again, and yeah.
I was gonna say, it's
yes, I know I'm not nice. I can see. It's just banter. Bless them. Love Singapore.
One of those things. I was gonna say it's one of those things that you see me go off camera very often, and you wonder why. I just eat the crispy noodles by myself.
Yeah, Paul is perennially hungry. It's a growing boy.
Just munching on some deep fried vermicelli.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Whatever gets you through the session, it's fine.
Is it the egg noodles you're frying now, Paul? Or?
No, that's the chicken. Is the prawns also going in now? Later.
Okay. Take out the chicken first, then add the prawns, I'd say.
Prawns.
Yeah.
And Paul, are you using any stock for this, or are you using just water and like
chicken powder? Magic powder.
Magic powder.
I was going to say, I'm using the last of it for this, guys, so it better be good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, how much have you eaten?
I'm not going for it.
That was an enormous bag.
Right?
I feel personally attacked by that
this Asian food cooking is not good for you, my friend. Dial back chicken powder.
I should put out an MOMC chicken powder. Get the whole world onto it. You'd be surprised how many people.
To say, I'm using my own special flavoring too. I'm a little obsessed with this.
What is it?
Your own special flavoring.
Maggie.
It's classic. It's so good. I don't know if anyone can see it.
Maggi
it's basically
seasoning
Maggi
sauce.
Arrow. It's basically like a really intense umami kind of soy sauce. And it just adds a little bit. Just a couple of drops. That's all you need.
Okay.
But again, if you don't have this is just me. This is just me being a bit sodium greedy.
I need to ask, does Jamie Oliver recommend it?
What, the Maggie?
Thrills.
Yeah. I'm just rubbing his name in the dirt.
All right. If it was Jamie Oliver who'd be frying this in olive oil,
some people should just be ignored and just not do Asian food. I know. It's like Gordon Ramsay. I was watching him the other day having a go at someone making some noodle dish or whatever. I'm like, who are you? Who are you to complain about how they're making it? But, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
the privilege of celebrity, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Especially the Brits. The Brits are the worst. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that the whole colonial mentality, that thing that that makes them think that they're entitled to kind of appropriate everybody's stuff.
Yes.
Selena Fong says Paul has been channeling.
But we're fighting back, though.
Yeah, what are you saying? Sorry, Liam.
No, I think it may be, but we're fighting back. I think the Sun to Learn Malaysians don't keep quiet about these things anymore. We found our voice, so we're not going to stop.
I know. Yeah, mock them.
Okay, so I'm going to start my sauce now. Hopefully, I'll get this order correct. So I've got some garlic.
Cool.
Pop in there. And again, I haven't got the heat on very high. Again, we really don't want to burn our garlic.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to add my pre-prepared seafood.
Cool.
Okay, so take that off the heat slightly. I'm also going to add my greens to it as well.
That's a very piddly amount, Liam. That's all you could muster.
That's all I could muster. That was the dregs of my fridge. Okay, I've got some chicken stock as well. So I'm just gonna.
Cool.
I'm using about a cup and a half or so.
Okay.
That up to boil.
Is that just the one serve you're cooking up, or?
Yes, I'm just doing it for one.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce.
Cool. What brand oyster sauce do you use?
When I can get it, Lee Kum Kee, usually. There is a very sort of cheap version. I think it's called Haide or something, which is like the bog standard version. But again, I think if you're using it for cooking, it doesn't. I'm not that fussed about what it is. I think if you're going to be using it as something very simple, then yes, you need to have to cook.
Paul is still frying stuff. It's like he's cooking for
Paul's got gremlins today. Okay, I'm also going to add some soy sauce as well.
Is that, sorry, what was that, soy sauce? Soy sauce or your Maggi sauce?
Yeah, a little bit of soy sauce. Just a little bit of soy sauce.
Right.
And what else have I got going on? But a little bit of black pepper as well. Just going to add that. Okay. And then my little sauce. Again, just a couple of dashes.
He can make fun of our chicken powder, Paul, but that's his Achilles heel.
This is my chicken powder. Yeah, I know. We all have one thing. Okay, mine's to boil now. Just gonna turn this down. Okay, I've got my. So I'm actually using pre-cooked chicken because when I made the stock, I actually had quite a lot of meat on the bones. So I've actually just shredded that off the bones first.
Cool.
So really, I'm just heating that.
Did you use like a whole chicken, or do you use chicken like bones?
No, I actually use chicken pieces. So again, what I do is whenever I fillet a chicken, whatever it is, I just basically keep the bones in the freezer, and then when I need stock, I just take a few bits out. And yeah, it's easier.
Sure.
Okay,
do you put any fancy stuff in your stock, or it's just chicken? It's just chicken bones and water.
For this, it's just chicken. There's nothing. Okay. I don't put any aromatics in it or anything like that. It's just very basic.
Sure.
But again, you can add, if you want to, you can add a little bit of ginger or garlic or spring onion to it, just to liven it up a bit. But again, this is a very simple sauce. So, okay, so mine's coming up to a nice fierce simmer.
Roll.
Miranda is from the Netherlands, and she's asking you, Liam, whether that's a Dutch influence with the Maggi sauce. But actually, we grew up with Maggi. Is Maggi a Dutch brand? Yeah, we grew up with Maggi. Everything in Malaysia.
Yes, Maggi is very much part of our psyche, and
yeah.
I think we all think it's Malaysian, but it's not necessarily the case. It's a bit like the food version of bata shoes. I think we all think bata is a Malaysian shoe. It's not. It's like, I think it's Italian or Portuguese or something, which does my head in.
Yeah.
I thought it was South African. Sounds like Afrikaans word.
It sounded like a Malay word, bata.
Bata.
We call it bata.
Okay. Mala says you're on the roll.
I'm just going to let that boil down for a second.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to, in the meantime, I'm just going to put my noodles on my serving plate.
And you're one of your fancy.
We're almost done. That's how quick it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul's cooking a huge amount. Either you eat a lot of protein, Paul, or you're cooking for lunch and dinner and tomorrow's lunch or something.
He may have a whole room of people waiting for me in the background. You don't know.
You won't believe it, but I'm the only one behind the camera.
What did you say, Paul?
So, Paul, yeah?
I said there's one person behind the camera, and that's me. Definitely just like my dad now will eat all of this.
What's that you got there, Liam?
I've got a little bit of sesame oil as well, which I'm going to add to it as well, just to give the sauce that little bit extra depth.
Okay, cool.
And as we know, we really just add that in right at the end. I've also got my slurry of corn flour and a little bit of water. Again, you can use corn flour. Potato starch also works very well if you're trying to avoid corn, whatever reason.
Sure.
You believe in the GMO conspiracy?
I believe in all of them, but ignore all of them at the same time.
Isn't that the best?
I think so long as you're cognizant of it, there's not much you can do. So yeah, if you want to make it. Okay, so instantly that's thickened mine up nicely.
Cool.
And then
what
I'm
did you
also
just
going to
add?
add.
Was it oyster sauce or? He can't hear us. Did Paul just add some oyster sauce? I couldn't tell. He can't
I think
hear
Paul's
us.
frozen.
You got still there.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you can hear it. Yeah. I've also got an egg white as well. You can use a whole egg.
Sure.
But again, I just like it looks prettier to me with the little white swirls in it.
That's your perfectionist streak coming through.
That is my perfectionist in me. So I'm just going to add that in.
Cool.
And again, this will also serve to thicken up the sauce quite a lot as well.
Sure.
So really, we're just looking for ribbons.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. It's done.
Believe it or not, that is it. How can something this delicious be so quick? I don't understand. It blows my mind.
Right. And people, you're right.
The
Assume it's really hard to whip up this dish.
But
it's like CKT. It's really quick and real easy. And everyone like, no.
It is, and I think that's often the case with a lot of our noodle dishes too, is that it's all prep time. If you go to a hawker stall and you buy something, it is just done. Here you go, eat, give me my money. And it's simple, but it's just all about the prep and getting it right. Okay, now the sauce. That's my sauce.
Nice, beautiful.
Smelling so good. Oh my gosh.
Did you use cornstarch or tapioca starch again?
I used cornstarch.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
now, Sabra says Maggie is from Switzerland. There you go. Who knew that? We should hold these little trivia things.
Wow, that's amazing what you don't know about things.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Everyone's asking what you put in because what you put? Was it oyster sauce you put in earlier?
Oyster sauce and a bit of fish sauce.
Oyster sauce and a bit of fish sauce. Oh, a fish sauce twist. That's nice.
I was thinking soy, but I was like, hey, you know what? Got fish sauce.
Fish sauce. Yeah, I'm more a fish sauce person than a soy sauce person. That's my.
Fish sauce often actually tastes a little bit cleaner to me in some ways. It's
right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think you need to turn your wok up.
Yeah, I just did.
You need to get, especially, and you want to get it nice. You want to get a nice rolling boil just before you add the cornstarch to it as well. That way, it will seize up a lot quicker.
Yeah. Cool.
But again, you don't actually really have to cook the sauce long because you've already pre-fried your proteins.
Everything.
So really all you're doing is just cooking it through just that little bit more, and it's very quick. I see bubbles. Good bubbles. You like bubbles?
Yeah.
You like that little fish in Finding Nemo.
Liam, Guts thinks Maggie's tastes horrible.
But I think Maggie is so different around the world. Again, like we get Maggie instant noodles here, and of course in Malaysia, we've all grown up eating Maggie instant noodles. It is not the same. And in fact, I bought some in the UK once, thinking, oh God, let's just make some Maggie noodles. They were horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So again, I think they really do tailor it to the market that they're working in.
Yeah.
Yeah. if the instant noodles tasted like they did in the UK, no one in Malaysia would ever touch them. It's horrendous.
They realize white people have no taste buds, so they don't really care.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. Basically. In fact, more times than not, when I buy instant noodles, I'm buying it for the noodles. I actually just throw away the packet and I just make my own base.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Right.
yeah, it's just better. Okay, Paul, you better give it a stir once you pour your maizena in it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a maizena little berg in the middle.
Don't worry, I watered it down before I put it in.
Okay, good. And this is, I was going to say, it's always one of those little tricks too. When you're mixing corn flour with water, you always want to mix the water to the corn flour and not the other way around. Otherwise, you end up, it turns out lumpy, and it's much harder to get the lumps out. So always powder first, water on top.
Or cold water. Cold water works like a charm.
Cold water, yes. Yeah.
Did you put pepper in it, Paul? Because pepper would really make a difference. Okay, cool.
Which
Okay, I'm going to plate mine up while Paul just finishes off.
Okay, cool. By the way, Paul, I don't know if you realize we can half your displays obscured by the. There you go. Yeah, that's much better.
Little dish. So let me just pop out the tripod.
Sabro says, guys, that looks easy to make. Thanks for going to have to try it. Keep up what you're doing. Love the live shows. There you go. These guys need their own TV show, I reckon. Watch out, Jamie Oliver. You guys should do fried rice next and show Jamie how it's really meant to be made.
Watch out, Gazelle DIY. We're coming for you. She's like a South African.
She's very famous. Okay.
See, now Liam's not going to be able to eat it. He's going to have to quickly take photos before they go soggy, right?
As I fiddle with where my noodles are.
Yeah.
So basically, that's mine.
Wow.
All done.
Cool.
Again, what's nice too is, so when I first poured it on, I thought, I could have made a little bit more sauce. But again, the sauce pools at the bottom and just starts softening the noodles a little bit, which is really what you want. And you don't want to drown the noodles.
Cool.
I'm just going to add a little bit more white pepper to the top.
Cool. Paul, again, I think you can turn off your stove.
Okay. And that's me done.
Mala says India has masala Maggi noodles so different from the Malaysian ones. Yeah, I bet they just subcontract local factories to make all their products.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Sabra saying, Jamie. Gunning for Jamie Oliver next.
Seem to have misplaced my egg. Let's grab another one.
You probably need 2 eggs for that amount of sauce, Paul.
Yeah, if it's a double portion, go for 2. And obviously, just make sure you beat the eggs first before you put it in.
Yeah.
Sarah wants to know how many people you're cooking for, Paul.
1.5.
Is that the portion you give your dad, or is that how much he wants to eat?
Because he's been snacking on the noodles behind him.
I was gonna say, is it how many I'm cooking for, like recommended suggestion, or is it how many people are going to be eating this?
How many people are going to be eating it?
2.
2.
I'm not getting that nice leaf swirl, but it's close enough.
We can just see over the lip of your wok. That is very tantalizing. But it looks nice and thick now, which is good. Great.
That was great.
I think it's basically ready.
That's it. No, you don't want to thicken it up too much.
So. Yeah,
I've turned it off already, don't worry.
Okay, cool. Annie says she does enjoy you guys cooking demos. There you go.
Thanks, Annie.
Oh, you're going to serve it up?
Yep, I'm just getting the stuff
Guts avoids Maggi and Unilever best foods products.
Yeah. It's hard. It's very hard to, though, I'm afraid. I think, ingredients. Yeah, I think it's so ingrained. I think bad ingredients are so ingrained in how we cook things these days that there's stuff that you don't even think about anymore and what goes into them.
Yeah.
But you know what? It still tastes
from Unilever. Yeah, I use chicken powder, and I'm holding up okay. I've never been sick. I keep telling people. I keep reminding all them.
Chicken powder is keeping you going.
I was going to say, because there's so much.
That's why it's called magic powder.
I was going to say, there's so much preservative. There's so much preservative in it that it's preserving you.
Yeah, true. It's briny on the inside. Wait, hang on, I'm confused. Did you put your noodles on top of it?
Yeah,
it should have gone the other way. It should have gone the other way.
Oh,
should have put the
hold the
so just put a plate on top of it and flip it over. Otherwise, the noodles won't soften.
Okay, hold on.
Need someone for 5 seconds.
Wait for it.
You're gonna tip it upside down.
As they say, this could be your grand finale. Is put it upside down and it'd be like, done.
Yeah.
I don't have the effort to move the camera.
Do you actually have plates at your house, Paul? Because everything seems to go into bowls.
It's easy. I was going to say my dad says the same, but I love eating out of a bowl. It's just easier.
Okay. Yeah, we were wondering. We seem to eat out of cereal bowls.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because these are the biggest. Because these are the biggest ones available. Just so you know, I do have plates that are actually in the dishes right now.
Okay. They'll debut next time, maybe.
Depending on the dish.
It looks like there's quite a lot of sauce to noodle ratio, but taste it and see what it's.
You've got the opposite route from me.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we all want you to taste it. Let's hear.
Let's see.
See.
Half the noodles off screen. That's why.
Yeah,
true. That's it.
Come on camera, Paul.
Yes, we want to see you eat it. We don't want to stare at your empty wok.
Yeah.
Getting some wok action there. No, hold on. I hope I'm not in an awkward position. And the lighting is atrocious.
Oops.
That'll do. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
If it was any darker, you'd think I was an orc.
Yeah. He overcompensates for his height by being really far away from the camera, so he ends up looking.
Okay. Whereas I compensate for my lack of height by being really close to the camera.
You and me both.
I thought I was quite average, and people were like, "No, 5'10" is really short." I'm like, "Really? Oh, okay." It's an Asian mentality. I'm like, it's Asia. 5'10" is a giant. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, don't let me go to Asia then, because damn.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna.
No verdict.
It's really good.
Yeah, excellent.
Even smells
good.
Did you put chicken powder in it?
It smells amazing. I have to say.
Your camera's gone wonky, Paul.
Oh God! I wasn't paying attention. Hold on, the gyroscope's reloading.
There you go.
No, it's not even fine now. It's like at a 45-degree angle. Like, what's going on here?
It's avant-garde. It's okay.
Annie wants to know why you're not eating. Annie, the reason he's not eating is because he's
I have to take a photograph and I can't touch it. For no better reason than that. No, Paul's the taster. That's it.
Oh my God. This camera is not doing it today. You know what? I'm just going to hold it. On a hold
Yeah,
it,
just hold
and
it. Just hold
happy.
it. Anyone wants to guess how tall Paul is?
Yes.
Put
Throw
in
some
your
guesses.
bet.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 6'1".
Wow.
Sorry,
Really, you
English.
don't know what
Because I'm
to do.
English, because I'm partly English, I go by feet. Sorry, weirdly enough. Don't ask me what that is in centimeters.
Me too. I'm kind of like that hybrid sort of
Go
generation. We started school
I
learning
know.
everything in imperial, and then it switched over to metric halfway through. So it depends on what we're measuring. I'm all over the place.
Don't ask me what a foot is. I have to say. I mean, I'm like, it's just what people tell you. And okay, you're 6'1".
It's 30 centimeters. The only reason I know that is because that's the size of a ruler at school.
Okay. Those are big feet.
I mean, I'll pretend like that's not the size of my feet.
No, guys, he's taller than
I'm
that.
literally on the dot.
So the highest bet so far is 6'2".
What have we got?
Paul. Taller than that.
My dad is 6'2".
Yeah, he thinks his dad is short.
And is he taller or shorter than you?
Shorter.
Short.
Remember, he's like 60.
I'm way off
so
then. 7 foot. That's what I'm going for. You're 7 foot tall.
I was gonna say, if I tell you my mom was 5'11", does that help?
Oh my goodness, you are bean sprout people. Goodness me, tall.
Just short of 6'4".
Oops, he's frozen up. Yeah, Paul is 6'4".
A centimeter and a half. A centimeter short of 6'4".
You have my condolences. That's almost a disability tall.
It's perfectly tall. It's good for sport. It's good for getting stuff off the high shelf.
So not that I have a short man syndrome or anything, but shame.
So you're happy with the food, Paul? You're gonna make it again? Would you make any difference?
Yeah,
Anything different? Yeah.
I'd make it properly.
Okay.
Because I was a bit all over the place today.
You go back to the store and buy the noodles I told you not to buy.
Yeah. But definitely get yourself some pickled jalapenos from Woolworths. They're pretty much like our green chilies, and it will transform it for
they're
you.
pretty good.
It makes such a difference. Just having that little bite and also that little acidity just makes the world of difference.
Actually, do I have some in the cupboard? I'm not going to go to the effort to look for now, but yeah.
We all have some forgotten jar of jalapenos in the cupboard somewhere.
Yes. If you don't, are you even in South Africa? If you aren't ripping off Mexico,
buy yourself some
South
fresh
Africa.
ones. And he's asking how tall are you, Liam? He's 5'10", right?
5'10", ish.
Cool.
Sorry,
depending on the shoes.
What'd you say, Paul? What'd you say, Paul?
I said, what did you say? 4'7"?
4'7".
You said 4'7".
So the boys used to.
You're planning to play a dwarf.
Yes, they did. Mala, Liam actually bought these dried scallop noodles. They're called scallop noodles because of the shape, not because they contain scallop, unfortunately.
No.
And he boiled them for a couple of minutes, and then he dried them and then fried them up. And Paul used vermicelli, dried vermicelli. And did you cook some egg noodles as well, Paul?
Yeah, I chucked the egg noodles in as well.
Were they okay? Did they soften in the sauce? Okay.
Yeah, look.
Sorry, these noodles are really good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a dry one. I don't know if you can white on white's not going to work. Okay, there it is, crispy.
Okay.
As you can see.
Sure.
I don't know if you can hear the crispiness. And then there it is in the bowl.
Awesome. Cool. Well, there you go. It works out. Okay. Well, guys.
And no one worry, I'm eating mine from periphery, so the photograph is fine. I'm just just
eat the side and use a napkin.
All right, we're gonna let poor Liam go so he can quickly take a photo and eat his lunch.
Yes, before the power goes off. By the way, if anyone
power.
wonders why we're doing this early, is that I've got scheduled power outages at the moment in South Africa. So mine is from 12 onwards. Yeah.
Uncle Paul was really hungry.
Yeah.
This time slot actually works for me, truth be told, because usually when we start like a couple hours later, I have to wait for my kid to fall asleep. But this time slot, he's not even home yet. So, but it's up to you guys what you work with. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch him. I get to eat earlier. I'm happy.
It's just an early lunch, that's all.
Yeah. So if you're cool with that, maybe we'll work with that moving forward. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks again for sticking around. And if you want the recipe, you can find it where again? It's on. I know it's my recipe.
On your blog.
Okay. JackieM.com.au. Okay. I wasn't sure if I posted it because I did a series of live cook-alongs where I made a point of emailing people the recipe directly. And I was trying to incentivize people to sign up for it rather than just throwing everything. But it is on my blog. So JackieM, JackieM.com.au, and just look up crispy noodles. All right. Yeah, thanks again, guys. We will see you next. We'll see Liam next week. And yeah, all right. Ciao. Good night, everyone.
Cheers. Take care, everyone. Bye.